Namaste. Welcome back to nuclearmedicinesolutions.in. This is the third video of nuclear medicine dosimetry series. In the first video, we saw the current practice of nuclear medicine dosimetry and understood how this can be so important in the future. In second video, we learned about all the components of nuclear medicine dosimetry, and of course, the correct term for this is dose assessment, which is a combination of physics and biology subjects. Along with fine details of the subject, we also learned about requirement of nuclear as well as anatomical and physiological data and the source from where this data can be obtained. In this video, we will learn about mathematics of dosimetry and see how to calculate total absorbed dose. So let's begin. From this topic onwards, we'll start calling nuclear medicine dosimetry as nuclear medicine dose assessment. And in this presentation, we'll discuss about various terms used in absorbed dose calculations like proportionality constant, equilibrium absorbed dose constants and how to calculate these, dose integration period, which is also called as exposure time, the time integrated activity, also known as cumulative activity, how to acquire data, and how to process. A little bit about this aspect also we'll touch, and finally we'll go for absorbed dose calculations, and at the last a brief discussion will be there for MIRD, ICRP and radar techniques of dose calculations. So let's begin and see what is proportionality constant. This is the equation where we left in the last presentation, and we saw the generic equation for absorbed dose rate, which is D dot equal to K A sigma I Y I E I phi I divided by M, where D dot is absorbed dose rate, K is proportionality constant, A is administered activity, Y is yield per radiation, EI is energy per radiation, phi is absorbed fraction, and M is mass of the target organ. In the same formula, if we change to know the value of K, it will become D dot into M divided by A sigma I E I into phi I, and when we write the units of these all the terms, it will become gray per second, which is a unit of absorbed dose rate, mass is kilograms, activity A has a unit of becquerels, YI has no unit, EI means energy is in joules, and phi I is again has no units. But generally the energy of isotopes we measure it in keV or MeV. So when we convert the energy joule into MeV, the relationship is 1 MeV is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 13 joules. So the finally K will become 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 13 gray into kg per becquerel into second into MeV. Or if we write, if the energy of the isotope is taken in MeV, the value of K will be 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 13 gray into kg per becquerel into second. Same way, if we convert this SI system units into a traditional units or CGS system units, the value of K will become 2.13 rad into gram per microcurie into R. All the calculations are shown in the slide. You can pause the video and see every step so that you should not get confused how this value of K has come to 2.13 rad into gram per microcurie into R, and the energy of the isotope here is again in MeVs. There is a term called equilibrium absorbed dose constant. If we club this proportionality constant Yi yield is constant and energy of the isotope is constant. KYIEI is a constant. So if we club all the constants together, it is called as equilibrium absorbed dose constant, and it is denoted as delta I. Therefore, the equation of absorbed dose becomes like this: A into sigma I phi I divided by m. Means it is the same equation, just simplification of terms where three terms are clubbed together, and the value of delta I is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 13, which is again K, value of K in SI system. Yi is yield and Ei is energy. Yi is sometimes referred as N also in many documents, so just do not get confused. Let's see how this delta I value can be calculated if there is some question on this. A radionuclide decays 100% by beta emission with E equal to 0.4 MeV, which is followed by 80% of its disintegration by gamma emission of energy 0.3 MeV and 20% by conversion electron, which has energy of 0.295 MeV and 0.005 MeV characteristic X-rays. So what are the equilibrium absorbed dose constants for emission of this radionuclide? Let's see how to calculate. The delta beta means the contribution from beta emission will be 1.6, this is the value of K. 1.0 is the 100% emissions and 0.4 is energy of that beta emission. So it will become 6.4 into 10 to the power minus 14 Gray into kg per becquerel into second. Similarly, we can calculate for delta gamma, which will have a value of 3.84 into 10 to the power minus 14. Here instead of 1 we have written 0.8 because the contribution for gamma emission is 0.8, means 80%. Similarly, we can calculate for conversion electrons and characteristic X-rays also. To calculate absorbed dose, we need to integrate this dose rate formula over the period of exposure time, and this exposure time is called as dose integration time, and it is represented as TD. So the equation of D dot integrated over the period of time TD will become absorbed dose, and it will be equal to sigma I delta I phi I divided by m integrated over the period of time TD A dt. Here the integration is usually involve integration of term A only, as other terms of the equation do not vary with the time, though there is some exceptions to this. There is one study of 2008 which says the nature of radioactivity changes with respect to distance between Sun and Earth. But another study which came in 2009 suggested that there is no such kind of thing. Phi I again may change depending upon the position of radioisotope within the organ, and mass of the organ may also change depending upon the efficacy of therapy. But for time being, let us consider these all the terms as a constant. Only one term which will vary with the time is administered activity. Generally, this dose integration period is taken as infinitive. Integration is from 0 to infinitive A dt. This is because the half-life of radioisotopes which are used in nuclear medicine has very less. This is the decay pattern of iodine 131, which shows within 8 half-lives the activity becomes almost negligible, which is the criteria for disposal of radioactive waste after 10 half-lives. But this term in ICRP system, which mainly concerns about radiation protection of workers and members of public, calls it as dose commitment period. They do not call them as dose integration period. they call it as dose commitment period, and they take 70 years of age considered to be the working life expectancy, because they are more concerned with the workers, so they take it as a working life expectancy. The age for adults, they take it as a 50 years, where they consider the age of intake is at 20 years, so the 70 minus 20 is 50 years. But for infants, children and adolescents, the time is variable and it is 70 years minus age. The working life expectancy concept is because of the length of the time an individual is expected to participate in the workforce, where they physically contribute in productivity, earns money by physical works, pay taxes, contribute to economy. So it's a loss to the state, it's a loss to the individual, and that is why the working life expectancy comes into the picture. There's a website which calculates working life expectancy as well as life expectancy depending upon the current age, gender and education levels. ICRP system concerned about all the workers which are exposed to the radiation, like the healthcare workers, flight attendants, baggage screeners, astronauts, mine workers, nuclear power plant workers, airline pilots, military personnel which are involved in nuclear weapons or nuclear submarines, and they are exposed to such a radiation which has a half-life of billions of years. In the third part of the presentation, let's see what is time integrated activity. So this is the equation which we saw, where D is equal to A tilde sigma I delta I phi I divided by M. This A tilde is called time integrated activity, which was earlier known as cumulative activity in 1991 MIID primer, and in 2009 in MIID pamphlet 21 this is known as time integrated activity, and the physical meaning of this is the number of decays in the source region during the relevant time period. It has a unit of becquerel into second, and the equation is A tilde is equal to integration 0 to infinity AT dt. This is the most difficult part of dose assessment calculation, but with the certain assumptions the calculation can be made easy. To understand the time integrated activity, we need to understand effective half-life concept. We know the radiative decay formula AT equal to A0 e to the power minus lambda t, where radioactive rate constant lambda is equal to 0.693 divided by T half, where effective half-life is, it is the time required to reduce the radioactive inside the body to half of its original value due to both physical as well as biological decay, and the rate constant of physical and biological decay adds together to represent rate constant of effective half-life. So the lambda effective is equal to lambda p plus lambda b. Lambda p is rate constant for physical decay and lambda b is rate constant for biological decay. If you write the values of lambda, the equation will become like this, and finally T effective is equal to Tp into Tb divided by Tp plus Tb. So for the calculation of A tilde, we need to calculate the area under the curve, which starts from 0 and goes until infinity. So if we calculate area under this curve, we will be able to find the value of A tilde. So we know A tilde is equal to 0 to infinity AT dt. When we keep the values of AT is equal to A0 e to the power minus lambda E effective dt, by integrating we'll get this much, and finally we'll reach up to here A tilde is equal to 1.44 into A0 into T effective. All the steps are shown in the slide. You can pause the video and see how the steps are moving from one to the other. There are various situations where the equation of A tilde will change. Let's see one by one. If there is an instantaneous uptake and there is no biological decay, that means the uptake is very rapid with respect to the half-life of the radionuclide. We'll see the examples and it will be clear then. In the second situation, the uptake is instantaneous and clearance is by biological excretion only, that is no physical decay or physical half-life is very long in comparison with biological excretion. In the third situation, the uptake is instantaneous but clearance is by both physical as well as biological decay. And in the fourth situation, the uptake is not instantaneous and excretion is by both physical decay as well as biological excretions, both routes. This is the most important situation and normally it occurs where uptake is not instantaneous and excretion is by physical as well as biological decay. But these all the things also happen in day-to-day routine nuclear medicine. We'll see the examples and we'll understand better. In the situation 1 where instantaneous uptake is there and there is no biological excretion, in that case what will happen, this T effective formula will convert to Tp and the equation of A tilde will become 1.44 into A0 into Tp. This 1.44 into Tp is also called as average lifetime of the radionuclide, and the calculation of this becomes quite simpler because the area under this area, and if we extrapolate this 1.44 times the half-life and make it as a rectangle, this equals the area of remaining parts. So if we just calculate this rectangular area, we will be able to calculate A tilde. So calculation becomes easier here. Let's see an example. Find time integral activity in liver for injection of 285 MBq of technetium-99N labeled sulfur colloid, assuming 80% of injected colloid is trapped by liver and retained there indefinitely. Let's see the solutions. The A is 1.44 into A0 into F1. F1 is the fraction of uptake by the organ in question. So 80% has been taken up by the liver, so F1 will become 0.8 and Tp is the physical half-life of radioisotopes. Therefore the A tilde will become 7.09 into 10 to the power 6 MBq into second. In the second situation where uptake is instantaneous and clearance is by biological excretion only. In the previous situation the clearance was only with the physical excretion and now it is only with the biological excretion. In this situation there may be 2 to 3, 4 biological half-lives. Like when we administer radioiodine, the first 24 hours it has a different biological half-life, but once it gets trapped inside the thyroid it has a different biological half-life. So let's assume the fraction F1 of initial activity A0 is excreted with biological half-life of TB1 and the fraction F2 with the biological half-life of TB2, and maybe so on if there are more biological half-lives. So the time integrated activity will become like this. This is the fraction F1 component and this is fraction F2 component, and if there are some more we can add it further. and finally the equation of A tilde will become 1.44 times A0 in bracket f1 dot tb1 plus f2 dot tb2. In an example, 285 MBQ of technetium-99m labeled microspheres are injected into a patient with essentially instantaneous uptake of activity by the lungs. Calculate time integrated activity in the lungs if 70% is excreted from lungs with biological half-life of 15 minutes and 30% with 30 minutes half-life. So in this situation, the physical decay of technetium-99m is much slower than the said biological excretion. So we may assume that there is no physical decay occurs during the time that the activity is present in the lungs. So A will become equal to 1.44 into 1 by 4 hours, because the equation is in the hours. So 15 minutes is converted into hour. 0.7 is 70% is excreted with this half-life, and the 30% is excreted with 30 minutes half-life. So 30 minutes is half an hour, and with the activity A0. So the finally A tilde will become 4.8 into 10 to the power 5. This is 10 to the power 5 MBQ into the second. In third situation, where uptake is instantaneous but clearance is by physical decay and biological excretions both. So if biological excretion is a single component exponential curve, the total clearance is described by a single component with a effective half-life Te, which was the base formula for A tilde, which is equal to 1.44 into Te into A0. And if there are more than one components of biological excretions, then each component will have a separate effective half-life, and then the time integrated activity will be computed accordingly. An example, suppose in a previous example, the last examples where the 70% of activity was excreted from the lungs with the half-life of 15 minutes. Instead of 15 minutes, now we are taking it as 2 hours. And the 30% is with the half-life of 3 hours, where we were considering there as 30 minutes. So if the half-life is 2 hours and 3 hours, so this cannot be taken as negligible in front of physical half-life, which is 6 hours. So what is the time integrated activity in the lungs for 285 MBQ of injections for this patient? So first we need to calculate the effective half-life of 70% contribution, and then we need to calculate the second effective half-life of 30% contribution. So the TE1 will become 1.5 hours and TE2 will become 2 hours. Therefore A tilde equation will become 1.44 the first part of fraction and then the second part of the fraction adds up together to form A tilde equal to 2.44 into 10 to the power 6 MBQ into the second. In the fourth situation, where uptake is not instantaneous and excretion is by physical as well as biological both routes. So when physical decay occurs during the uptake process, the uptake can be described by an exponential function At equal to A0 in bracket 1 minus e to the power 0.693 T by Tu, where Tu is biological uptake half-life, and therefore effective uptake half-life will become TUE is equal to Tu into Tp divided by Tu plus Tp, and the time integrated activity will have a formula is A equal to 1.44 into A0 into T effective into T uptake effective half-life divided by Tu, means uptake biological uptake half-life. So the formula will change for the time indicated activity in this case. Let us see this with an example where a radioactive gas having a half-life of 20 seconds is injected intravenously. It appears in lung with an uptake half-life of 40 seconds and is excreted by exhalation with a biological half-life of 10 seconds. What is the accumulated activity or time indicated activity in the lungs for 285 MBq injection? So first we will have to calculate effective uptake half-life, that is TUE, which will be equal to 20 into 40 divided by 20 plus 40, which will be equal to 13.3 seconds. Then we'll calculate effective excretion half-life, that is TE, will be equal to 6.7 seconds. Therefore A tilde will become 1.44 into 285 into 6.7 seconds, which is effective excretion half-life, that is TE, into 13.3, which is effective uptake half-life, divided by TU 40 seconds, which is uptake half-life, which is given in the question. So therefore A tilde will become 916.6 MBq into seconds. There is a term called time integrated activity coefficient, which was previously known as residence time in MID primer 1991. When time integrated activity A tilde is divided by administered activity, it is called as time integrated activity coefficient. It is also known as normalized cumulative activity in some literatures, and the physical meaning of this is average time that an activity is spent in source region. Generally, the estimated dose is reported in units of gray per megabecquerel or milligray per megabecquerel in literatures. So every time integrated activity is normalized to administered activity, and it is called as a time integrated activity coefficient. And this is the second example where you can see milligray per megabecquerel mean dose is shown. In the next part of the presentation, let us see what are the methods of data collection for time integrated activity. This will be a brief discussion, and we will discuss it in detail when we talk about calculation of therapeutic nuclear medicine dose assessments. So to calculate the data of area under the curve, we need to first make the curve. There are a number of methods for data collection, like quantitative external counting, sampling of tissue and excreta, animal data extrapolation, and image quantification of human data. This is the most reliable and used widely for data collection. Let us see what all the different methods can be there for image quantification. There may be 2D images where whole body scan or spot views covering the region of interest can be scanned. There may be 3D SPECT where limited field of view, including the essential structures of interest, may be imagined, and then the value of A can be found out. It can be from 3D PET, but the hybrid imaging like SPECT-CT or PET-CT improves the accuracy of activity measurement for dosimetry. And 3D methods avoids problems of underlying and overlying tissues. Then for analysis of the curve, there are different methods like a fit into an exponential function. Linear regression methods or non-linear regression methods are used to calculate area under the curve. It can be calculated by trapezoidal integration or Riemann integration, which is rarely used. So let us see how to calculate absorbed dose with whatever the formulas we have discussed. So this is the final equation which we obtained: D equal to A tilde sigma I delta I phi I, where this phi I is a specific absorbed fraction. But in real life dose assessment, there is always more than one source organs and more than one target organs. and repeatedly compiling all the contributions for each organ will give you a real dose assessment. Each organ will have phi value for itself, which is being irradiated by itself, as well as the irradiations which are come from the other organs. Therefore, the formula for dose assessment will become like this: the contribution from itself as well as others also which are irradiating to itself. So this equation looks quite complex and can be very confusing for many users. Let's see this with an example. This is the same examples which we have already done previously, like where we calculated equilibrium absorbed dose constant and the cumulative activity. Combining both the examples in one example, and the question becomes like this: 285 mbq of radioactive gas having a half-life of 20 seconds is injected intravenously. It appeared in the lungs with an uptake half-life of 40 seconds and excreted with biological half-life of 10 seconds. The radionuclide decay by emitting beta particles 100% with energy 0.4 MeV, followed by 80% with 0.3 MeV gamma rays and 20% by 0.95 MeV of conversion electrons and 0.005 MeV of characteristic X-rays. Compute the absorbed dose delivered to lung by non-penetrating radiation. Here we have taken non-penetrating radiation just for the simplicity, and given lung mass is 1 kg. So we already calculated time integrated activity, which was 916.6 mbq into seconds. So when we convert that into the becquerel into second, it becomes 9.17 into 10 to the power 8 becquerel into seconds. And we calculated equilibrium absorbed dose constants delta beta, delta gamma, delta E and delta X-ray. Since the question is only asking for contribution from non-penetrating radiation, so we will not take delta gamma part because it penetrates the organs. We are taking characteristic X-rays because it is very less energy and it will not be able to penetrate the organ. So the equilibrium absorbed dose constant sigma I delta I will become delta beta plus delta E plus delta X-rays, and the total of these all will become 7.4 into 10 to the power minus 14 Gray into kg per becquerel into seconds. So the absorbed dose finally will be able to calculate because we know the value of A tilde, we know the sigma I delta I, we know the phi I because it is for non-penetrating radiation, and the value is always 1, and we know the mass of the organ. So combining all together, the total absorbed dose will become 6.79 millirad. There are some points to note. The absorbed dose calculations, which has a contribution from penetrating radiations as well, can be quite tedious, especially when there are multiple emissions. This problem is simplified by introducing a factor which accounts for all the other components except time integrated activity. Means we just need to calculate time integrated activity, that is A tilde, and rest all the components are computed together and given ready-made so that we'll be able to calculate absorbed dose easily. There are different systems which made this factor with little variations with each other, like S factor by MIRD group, C factor, that is specific effective energy factor, which is given by ICRP, and a dose factor by radar groups. They have a little variations among each other, but they all give all other components except cumulative activity. The MIRD committee, which is within the SNM-MI, which was formed in 1965 with the mission to standardize internal dosimetry calculations, improve the published emission data, and enhance the data on pharmacokinetics, with a vision to provide framework for calculation of absorbed dose to certain regions. The absorbed dose D is product between time integrated activity and the S value, and therefore this D is equal to A tilde into S. This S value includes the energy emitted E with this probability Y, the absorbed fraction phi, and the mass of the target region M. In ICRP, which is International Commission on Radiological Protection, which began in 1928 and emphasizes mainly on radiation protection of occupational workers and members of public, although this is not exclusive, which is commonly misbelieved, they have published number of publications on patients also. They uses symbol H, which is equivalent dose, and it is calculated for the period of 50 years as we discussed previously. And H50 T is equal to sigma S U50S into C factor from source to target. In the radar group method, that is radiation dose assessment resource task group of SNMMI, they devise a simpler expression of dose equation, and the formula is like this: dt equal to sigma S ns into df from source to target. This ns is the number of disintegrations per second, and it's same as A tilde converted into dps, and this df contains the rest of the terms of absorbed dose formula with the unit Gray per dps. These all are the references used in this presentation. In the next presentation, we will discuss in detail about this MID formalism. Thank you very much for the patient hearing. You can write us at support@nuclearmedicinasolutions.in for any feedback or query. You can also suggest topics of your own choice which you wanted to be addressed in this platform. Thank you very much.